Hi,
Привет. Hello. How are you?
my name is Daria. I'm from Ukraine. Thank you, I'm fine, pretty much. And who are you?
My name is Mustafa. I'm from Florida.
You're from Florida. Can I ask you, Mustafa, have you heard of Russian-Ukrainian war?
I had, yeah.
And what do you think about it personally?
That's bad. You should end it. I mean, the government.
But do you know who the aggressor is and who the victim is in this war?
Yeah, sure, pretty much.
And who is who?
But I don't think that victim is Ukraine, though. And I don't think that Russia is the victim.
Can you please justify
it's
your
much,
opinion? Yeah.
of course, it's much harder than you think. First of all, in 2014, there was pro-European power came to Ukraine. And second of all, Ukraine rejected its neutral status.
Can I ask
wanted
you,
to-
what can you say about the natural status as the citizen of the United States? Do you have
Okay.
some relatives in Russia, or where do you take this information from, may I ask?
Yeah, I have read and I have studied this information deep, and I know that Ukraine, when it got its independence, it was neutral state or neutral
Neutral
Republic.
status, you mean? With no wars, with no attacks? That's what you mean?
no, there's NATO, right? There's
And so what about
organization.
NATO? Ukraine wasn't a
So
part of
Ukra-
NATO at that time, sorry.
But Ukraine didn't want to go to NATO until 8 or 2014, but it changed its status.
And
So
what?
that's
so what?
Russia didn't like.
No,
Russia didn't like that.
can I debate about this pro-European government? What you mean? You mean Poroshenko, who became the president, and
After
what's the deal?
Poroshenko, Turchinov,
And
Zelensky, they are all pro-European powers. But I'm not saying about the president, but there's people who connected really deep in this European
and what's
government
bad? Because, for example, the USA also have relations with the European Union, and that's our path to decide who we want to be. We're not asking anyone about our internal
the
questions.
problem is they didn't ask you about it, you know.
What do you mean?
they
Who
changed
didn't
it.
ask about what?
Have you ever heard about Victoria Nuland and her speech?
Yes, I know Victoria
telephone
Nuland. She
call.
was present on Maidan, and what?
She her call was in a YouTube when she used to speak with a person from American governor from in Ukraine consul, and she talked that the people who are in power was in 2014. We are ready to work with them. We already prefer that they were in power. And after her call, that the people that she called, Vitaly Klitschko, for example,
Yes. Yes. So what?
they were all in power. So it means that
Vitaly Klitschko is also in power now because he is the mayor of
I know.
Kyiv. So
I know. And I'm telling you that in Europe and United States did all that in 2014. The pro-European people came to power. Yanukovych and his people, they were pro-Russian. Yeah, I know
yes,
that.
and that is
But-
why the
but
revolution of dignity
after-
started. If you know.
No, they didn't ask you if you want to NATO, if you want to European
What do you
Union.
mean if you
There was
didn't want to? Yanukovych was
referendum.
supposed to sign the agreement to go to the European Union, and he didn't
Слушай,
do it. That's
смотри,
why people came.
Когда Великобритания выходила
Так
из
вы
Европейского
иммигрант,
Союза,
россиянин, естественно. Я ж думаю, откуда
Смотри.
все вот эта вот гниль полилась. Ну все, до свидания. Я желаю вам ракет над головой, как желательно побольше. Русская гниль, гнида.